1, 2, 3, 4. La 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 la. Hooray! Merry Christmas, everybody. And if you recognize that song, you know what movie we're doing tonight. Gremlins! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and surprise! This is a Christmas episode coming out before the premiere on January 1st.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
And what a movie we picked. It is one of my favorites, Gremlins. Unfortunately, Ronnie is sick, got the COVID.
What a puss!
Yeah, you know.
I've been dead for 4,000 years, and I'm here.
4,000?
Yeah, 4,000.
That number changes a lot.
No, it's 4,000.
So, Dave, getting into the spirit of Christmas, we're here. We got lights, decorations, we got our stockings, got some hot cocoa. I know you don't really eat food, but for us humans, it's awesome.
Whatever.
So, Dave, favorite Christmas gift of all time? Let me hear it.
Well, I've possessed many hundreds of children over the last couple thousand years, and I've received gifts of all kinds. Food, animals, front row seats to a beheading in France in the early 1800s. One time, I got a slave, like an actual person that I own. But my favorite would have to be Teddy Ruxpin, 1985.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. So for me, there was one Christmas when Star Wars had come back to theaters. It was when George Lucas put out those special edition Star Wars. Star Wars toys came back like gangbusters that year. The originals. This was before the prequels, which would actually come like in the next year or two.
What a nerd.
I was 9 years old, and I was already just a diehard fan of the original trilogy, and I got Han Solo, Luke, R2-D2, and I want to say Ben Kenobi. I'm not really sure, but that was a magical Christmas. And then later that year, I saved up, and I got the speeder, the stormtrooper on the speeder bike from Return of the Jedi, where you push the button and it explodes into 3 pieces, so you could reenact, you know, those scenes from the movie. Yeah, not quite a slave, but still pretty good. Anyway, so let's get into it. So Gremlins. Gremlins starts with a guy, an inventor. He's in Chinatown, and he is walking around trying to kind of shill his wares. He's trying to sell his inventions. He goes into this little shop. A little kid drags him down there to his grandfather's store, where he discovers the Mogwai. Gizmo, the cutest little creature in any movie, sings a song, a very musically inclined creature, and decides that he has to have it to take home, right? And he tries to, you know, $100, $200. The old man just won't sell it to him until finally the little kid goes, "Hey, he's crazy, he's old, meet me outside. I'll sell it to you. We need the money." So, long story short, he gets the Mogwai, brings it home, gives it to his kid. But before he leaves, the old man tells him 3 very important rules. Number 1, light, especially sunlight. Mogwais don't like it. Sunlight will kill them. Keep them out of the light. Number 2, don't get them wet. Bad things happen if you get him wet. He's very vague about these things. He doesn't say what will happen. And 3, the most important rule. Dave, you want to help me out with that one? What is the most important thing you do not want to do with a Mogwai?
Don't feed them after midnight.
That is correct. Feeding them after midnight. Very, very bad. But as we all know, basically all 3 of those rules are broken. Billy, the main character, he gets his Mogwai wet. 5 more pop out, so now he's got 6 Mogwai.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new ones. Now can I have one?
And eventually, they get their hands on some chicken after midnight. And they turn into gremlins. And they terrorize the entire town. Which brings me to my next subject, David. What is a gremlin? What exactly constitutes a gremlin? How do we sum them up as a creature? We actually have one behind us, a real stuffed gremlin.
I dated a gremlin once.
Very funny.
No, I did.
Okay.
Best sex I ever had.
Moving on. Gremlins have been around in legends and folklore for a long time. During World War II, they were these invisible creatures that would cause malfunctions in machinery, planes especially.
Yeah.
There's a character in the movie, Mr. Futterman. He's Billy's neighbor. Billy's the main character, and he's played by Dick Miller. He's in the first Terminator. He's the guy in the gun store selling the guns to the Terminator.
That's Italian. You can go pump or auto.
And he goes, hey, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Wrong. You know, came out the same year as this movie, actually, so he was killing it back then. And he has this like running theme in the movie of like distrusting anything foreign made.
Who doesn't?
He's shitting on his Volkswagen, you know, the TV, all these things. Should have got a Zenith.
I told you we should have got a Zenith.
He's coming out of the bar really drunk, and he is rambling about gremlins.
Gremlins. You gotta watch out for the foreigners because they plant gremlins in their machinery.
He says the foreigners plant gremlins in their machinery. Gremlins brought down a plane once. WW2.
World War II. Good old WWII. You know, they're still shipping them over here. They put them in the cars, they put them in the TV, they put them in the stereo.
He's referring to those old Royal Air Force stories about gremlins in the machinery. In fact, Roald Dahl, the
Giant
author,
Peach.
James and the Giant Peach. Yeah, Dave, exactly. He wrote The Gremlins, and it was a kid's story about gremlins.
Kids.
And it was kind of loosely used for this movie, kind of the way we think of gremlins in modern times. You should check out some of those posters. They just capture that old, you know, what would you call it?
Je ne sais quoi.
That style of the times, showing gremlins. It was almost like propaganda posters from the time. Now that we've kind of covered what a gremlin is, I want to get to some specific moments in the movie. Do you have a favorite?
Gremlin in the microwave.
Gremlin in the microwave. That was quick. That is a really good part. I do like that part a lot.
It's awesome.
There's a great part in this movie, kind of toward the end. They're escaping the gremlins. It's sort of like a lull in the action, and Phoebe Cates' character tells the most eerie and sad and depressing Christmas story you've ever heard.
The worst thing that ever happened to me was on Christmas. It was Christmas Eve.
Her father went missing one Christmas. He didn't come home from work. They called the authorities. Christmas came and went. Still no sign of their dad. And then one day she went to go light a fire in the fireplace.
And that's when I noticed the smell.
And they called somebody over to clear out the chimney, and she's expecting it to be a dead animal or something like that. And they pulled out her dad.
Oh my God.
Who had dressed up like Santa Claus. Arm full of presents, tried to climb down the chimney to surprise them on Christmas Eve, slipped, broke his neck, and was basically stuck in the chimney for days. Chimney. I just added a syllable to chimney. Chimney.
Chimney.
Chimney. Chimney crickets. But yeah, how messed up is that?
So messed up.
Here's this movie. It's a pretty light movie. I mean, it's horror comedy at its best, and it has that charming 80s vibe to it. There's not really much in the movie that makes you go, like, gives you pause, you know? And that story just comes out of nowhere. It's amazing. So hats off to the writer, Dave Ryder.
Chris Columbus.
See, I'm no good with that stuff. I focus on the action, the gore, so thank you, Dave.
No problem.
But yeah, other than that, I would say Stripe's death at the end. Stripe is like the ringleader of the Gremlins, and he's the last remaining one toward the end after they blow all them up in a movie theater. And the creature effects that they used to show this gremlin melt, and then finally he pops out again as a skeleton, and it's cool because it's kind of like an inflatable skeleton that, you know, after he moves a little, you just see it deflate like that. And that is something that, you know, you just don't see anymore, those amazing practical effects of the mid 80s. It must have been a nightmare to shoot a lot of those scenes where it's basically puppets, dozens of puppets.
What?
Anyway, I kind of know their pain.
Shut up.
It is the perfect combo of horror comedy. It's got violence, scares, but just this slapsticky, goofy quality to it where the characters are genuinely afraid, but the way they're getting attacked is so funny. Great use of like off-camera violence too. Gremlins love to throw stuff at their victims, where basically they'll show a gremlin, the camera will swing to the person, and then just stuff will come flying at them, like plates and bang, 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 you know? And then it just cuts back to the gremlin like, you know? So it also kind of conveys how strong they are for such little creatures. Also, another thing to note, which I'm watching this part and they're in the police station and I see the deputy and I'm like, that guy looks familiar. It's a young Jonathan Banks.
Arm off. You want me to put the cuffs on him?
If you know Breaking Bad, Michael Ehrmantraut, Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, legendary character. We know him as the gruff, older, bald, you know, hitman. But yeah, a young Jonathan Banks pops up really quick in Gremlins. I'm so fascinated with Gremlins because you don't really know what they want, what their motives are. You know, they're here to basically just cause chaos. They're scary. They're funny. They're dangerous. They could be friendly if they feel like it. You know, specifically thinking about that scene in the movie where they're all drinking at the bar, which is one of the funniest scenes. And Phoebe Cates' character is serving them drinks, and they seem to just not bother her. Whereas everyone else in the movie, they kind of attack on sight. But she's kind of playing their game, so they're just tolerating her until she decides that it's time to get out of there, and that's when they, you know, jump, you know, try to attack her. But yeah, I kind of think of them as like the Joker from Batman, you know, like they just want to watch the world burn. You know, they have no specific mission other than to just terrorize and cause chaos. So that's what's so funny and eerie and scary about them all at the same time. So yeah. Look who's back, people.
Shut up.
He lived. How are you feeling?
Great. Yeah.
Good.
Great.
He battled with the COVID AIDS. So while you were gone, Dave and I did Gremlins, and I was asking Dave what his favorite part is in the movie, and he said Gremlin in the microwave.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite part?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's pretty much right when all the chaos begins. The water spills on him, and then, like, the background music kind of plays on it, where it's just like that. Like, it sounds like a fucking cat or something. But I would say my favorite scene is the popping, all the balls and shit popping out, going all over the room and turning into that.
Whenever
like,
they pop out of like a gremlin, I can't look at it.
Yeah,
like the back.
It was gross.
Ugh,
that was whatever
so
that
nasty.
was. The film and stuff that they used was perfect. That always grossed me out as a kid. Ugh.
I forgot how much of like all the horror elements that are in that movie. Like, I always thought, like, you know, as a kid, like, I never I don't think I registered. Like when the mom's in the kitchen
Yeah.
and she's battling them alone.
Yep.
That's a straight up Michael Myers.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
fucking. That's a horror
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, the whole town. I mean, see the whole town within the hour of the spread. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it was funny because it just like stays true to the lore of Gremlins. You know, like, they're
Yeah.
just like these little things that run around and cause a ruckus. I
Yeah.
thought they were perfect, and I like that you said that because same thing. Like growing up with Gizmo and stuff, you're like that. I had a Gizmo stuffed animal. You know
Oh, you
what I
did?
mean?
You had one?
Yeah. So it's like
That's
I was
sick.
like it was just crazy to think that I was walking around with that and not even realizing it was a monster movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Straight up monster
yeah,
movie.
it's a monster movie, which is dope because you know, and it's not CGI. You know, it's all
no
animatronics.
CG. I would love a new Gremlins movie.
Yeah,
I would friggin' love it. You know it would be CG, unfortunately.
I don't know because I feel like I saw a newer Gremlin. Like I feel like I'm making this up. I don't know.
I think they've done like animated stuff. I think.
I know they did animate it, but I saw a darker Gremlin when I was looking up like images for references and stuff.
Right.
And it was like it looked like a newer body, darker green of a Gremlin.
Oh, that's cool.
So I mean, maybe it's just something that's floating on the internet. I didn't actually read the article.
Yeah, that's what we have Dave for. We don't
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah.
We don't do research. Are you kidding me? We just talk out of our asses and speculate, and
guys
we
like-
let the audience yell at us while we're talking,
Yeah,
like you
exactly.
idiots.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's who we are. We can't change that.
You know us,
We
you
can't
know
work
us.
hard. Working hard. Well, no. We work hard on drawing stuff in art.
Yeah,
We
and
don't-
then you gotta.
That's where we work hard. So speaking of which,
Oh yeah.
who wants to go first? You want
I'll
me?
go first.
Okay. All right.
I'll go first. Fuck it.
Anything I should know first before I look at it?
No, just a typical Gremlin.
I'll jump in. Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. Do you know what? This reminds me of your the style. Kind of reminds me of the Killer Clowns one you did.
Yeah, so I'm trying to like I said, I like the really monotone blending now, and not too much detail. But if I did that with watercolor, like I originally wanted to, I have an issue with texturing watercolor. I just love to do it too much. So all this would have took forever. Every
Right.
little lump. Instead, and like I don't know. I'm trying to go more because it's not a tattoo. Definitely
Right.
want to go more illustrative.
Yeah, super illustrative. It's got like it's got a nice simplicity to it.
Exactly.
I always go too complicated, and every friggin' time I tell myself, don't go too complicated. Find a nice, like, catchy style that people will like, and keep it simple. But every time I'm like stippling by the end.
I'm like literally trying to battle not to make it a tattoo. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
It's very different. Different worlds. It's pretty cool.
But the funny part is, I would totally get that.
Oh, cool.
That's a tattoo. That's a tramp stamp right there.
Yeah. Right? But yeah, it's I don't know.
I like the purple in his face too.
Yeah, it's, like that was that thing. I used the airbrush. So I first like layered all this. Pretty much I did all the green. Then I did the pretty much the what would you call that? Unsaturated or transparent right here over the green. And I just took the airbrush tool and just dabbed it on accident to
Just
try
one,
it
like,
out, and I like loved it. And I was like, I'm gonna work off that.
It's like he's staring into a light really evilly.
And originally I had the eyes black, but and like a white pupil. But I think it was just it didn't. I don't know. I was trying. It looked creepy, not in a way I wanted it to. I don't know.
Right. And this is just a random gremlin. It's not like a specific
Yeah,
one.
no, this is just like what.
You like that one right there?
I always thought that one was Spike, but that's the flasher.
Yeah. Oh, this flasher.
Yeah.
That's such a funny part.
Yeah. We've got nothing.
It's so random. Like they just. I bet they sat down in for that bar scene and was like, all right, how many gags can we come up with? And just do that. We got a puppet show. We got a guy with a gun. We got the flasher.
Oh yeah, WB kills it. Like even the Animaniacs, they came back. They're so good.
This is awesome though. This is sick. So this is based on. So in the episode with Dave, I was talking about my favorite part being the end when the skeleton pops back out of the fountain.
Yeah.
And it's so sick because they use basically like an inflatable skeleton because then it melts. And I was like, how the hell did they get it to melt like that? And I'm like, it must just be like almost like a really detailed balloon almost.
Yeah.
Because it just goes like, it starts out looking skeleton-ish and then it just goes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It melts. It starts melting.
The color's going.
Oh, dude, that is awesome.
But I wanted it to be more like flat. He's kind of at an angle.
No,
it
see, I
seems,
love
but
your black work. Like, that's exactly what I'm
all
trying to
the,
figure out digital-wise.
yeah.
That looks because you have a gradient. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, on paper, I could figure it out easily, my values. When it comes to this, for some reason, it's so hard. I don't get it. You nailed it.
Yeah, I like the skeleton part.
That's fucking dope.
Because that's basically, and you know what? If you Google, I think I was talking to Dave about this. If you Google Gremlin skeleton, you can find a ton of reference material.
Really?
I don't know if they're like maybe from a video game or something like that, but there's tons of Gremlin skeleton diagrams and stuff on Google Images.
Well, I mean, that's why I've been trying to level it out. I'll do one that's like kind of exactly like it, and then I'll do a rest of like kind of the idea. You know what I mean? Because like kind of like, you know, when we got those toys at CVS, you had a He-Man, or then there was like the Man-He.
The knockoff.
Yeah.
Transmorphers.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Yeah.
I remember going to Newbury Comics back in the day and seeing the Transmorphers DVD and being like, and literally thinking it was Transformers for a minute, and I was like, they make this look so close so that people buy it by accident.
Yep.
Like that's exactly what it's for.
It's crazy. But you can like tell right off the bat it's a knockoff. You're like, that is so cheap.
Yeah. So before we wrap up the art reveal, do you have a favorite Christmas gift? Because Dave and I went over ours.
That I'm getting?
No, from your childhood, from all time.
Oh.
Like best thing you ever got.
Best thing I ever got, honestly.
It's hard. It's hard to just think of on the spot like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would have to say the best gift ever. Probably like skateboards.
Skateboard?
Like that. Yeah.
Like one where you're just like so fucking excited for the rest of the day.
Or like art supplies, I guess.
Oh, yeah,
got me
art supplies.
jazzed up. I mean, now we don't have to buy them anymore because of technology, which is dope.
See, that's
A little richer. The
iPad.
I can get
I'm
a
glad
Starbucks coffee now.
That's what I used to use on paint. And,
me too.
And
I
paintbrushes. Now
Oh.
I waste it on coffee. All right, well, that's gonna do it for our art reveal and for our Christmas episode. Merry Christmas, everyone. Give everyone a jingle.
Merry Christmas.
Can you hear that? Here, let me aim my mic at it. But yeah, this was a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit the like and subscribe button if you wouldn't mind, because it's friggin' Christmas. Do it for us,
Merry,
please.
Please, sir, may I have a like?
I'm gonna have to lower that.
Please, sir, may I have a like?
Yeah, that's all we want is just a like. Just to like us a little more. Anyway.
Find us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram.
All right. Farewell.
Sayonara.
Season's greetings. Happy holidays.
This is Halloween. Whoops. My bad. That's still a Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas movie, all right? Christmas and Halloween are like this for me ever since 1992 or whenever, 93. All right, next one.